Greetings, dear Taurus. This one is for you. That's you over here. This is Tarot Illumination. This is the mini micro playlist for Aquarius, new moon eclipse, middle of February 2018. And think of it as a long-term trajectory. It's a tiny micro reading, but the thing is, it's got a long trajectory because this is kind of like just a timestamp moment, one of those calendar moments, and it's going to resonate and echo again in about 6 months from now, in the middle of the year when we have the August Leo and Aquarius eclipses again for the last time for the next 19 or 20 years or so. So it's kind of a big deal. Now for you, Taurus, this is happening up in your 10th house. So it's kind of significant to do with your place in this world, like your destiny, your dharma, your mission. Like, who are you? What are you really doing here? Why are you here? What are your credentials? Like, how are you going to affect yourself in this world? Let's have a look. This is just going to be like a snapshot, okay? You can reinterpret this however you want. Watch for your sun, moon, and rising, and then reinterpret the whole thing just to suit you if you want. This is your reading for you. It's just Tarot Illumination giving a story on it, okay? Cards were already well shuffled in advance. You can, reinterpret how you want. There's no reversals or anything. So let's just kind of go for it, okay? We're going to do the best we can in a very short space of time. Cards were well shuffled. We're going to cut now and just sort of go for it, all right? Also, another thing, Taurus, I should have mentioned this with all the other signs as well, but, with this eclipse, it might be a really powerful echo from what happened about a year ago right now, because what's happening right now is like almost exactly a year from the first round of Leo Aquarius eclipses that happened around this time in 2017. So maybe think back to that time. What happened? What was going on in your life around then? Okay? I just forgot what I did on the cards. So I'm just going to do a little quick super reshuffle. I'm sorry about that. It's kind of unusual, but I don't want to just stumble blindly into things. I do mess up now and again, okay? I'm just going to admit it. So we're going to go to the last second. And now I know for sure the cards are shuffled. So now I'm going to cut. Now, for all I know, I did this already, but I can't remember. Sorry about that. I get so immersed in that whole process, I don't even know who I am anymore half the time. Anyway, here we go. This is the situation. This is the challenge, and this is how we're going to deal with it. And we're going to look at circumstantial energy for you, Taurus, okay? It's out there. It's not necessarily yours, but it's there, and you have to deal with it just like everyone else. It's weather, okay? What do we got here? We have the Six of Pentacles. So to me, this feels like it's a really good opportunity to finally bring things into balance, where if you're the one who's always been giving it away for the community, think of Aquarius, with Aquarius on your 10th house, that's you as a Taurus, in terms of your place in the world, your dharma and all that, that's very Aquarian. Okay, so with the South Node eclipse there, the whole thing is like becoming starkly aware of what is now obsolete and redundant in terms of your place in the world, and then figuring out, well, what's supposed to happen now? New beginnings, new starts. Well, we're dealing with that. You don't have to know all the answers right now. This is literally just the opening of the doorway into this whole new vortex, this whole new beginning of your awareness of who you are in this world and why you're here and what you're doing, okay? It's like important, like the responsibilities that you have for being here. So if you've been used to giving it all away in favor of the community, which would be natural South Node redundant autopilot behavior, and you're starting to realize, wait a minute, it's about time things got brought back into balance. Like, what's working for me now? And you're going to feel that again in about 6 months when the Leo energy kicks in strong. And how you're going to bring that all home so that it works for you and brings you a sense of stability and solidness and happiness and joy in the home. So you don't have to be just out there always giving it away. Okay, so we'll just see how that works out. All I'm suggesting with the Six of Pentacles here is that it's time for a reckoning, and it has to be evidential. You know, it's just not a concept in your head. You have to know it and see it and feel it as evidence in your world. Like things need to be brought into balance. Thank you very much. Where it's okay for you to be on the receiving end and receive the investments in terms of, if you think of love as an investment of a commodity. It's time for you to receive now, okay? And you might not be used to that. Let's have a look. What's the situation? Okay, well, at least you're fired up about this. At least you kind of already understand what's going on, and you're already ready to plunge into this and go for it, even though, let's say, there's not a lot that you know about how this is going to unfold. It doesn't matter. It's okay. All that counts right now for you, Taurus, is the idea that I'm just going for it anyway. You know what? I don't quite get it. I don't know what Tarot Illumination is talking about, but I'm just going to go for it anyway. I'm just going to accept that the way things were in terms of my place in the world, who I thought I was, what I thought I was going to do, and how I was going to be in this world, it's essentially incrementally becoming redundant, and a whole new thing is unfolding. Okay, well, what are we going to do with that? Well, I'm not really quite sure just yet, but you know what? I don't care. I'm just going to go for it anyway. I'm just going to treat it as an exciting new adventure. Thank you very much. All right, what's the challenge with all that, though? Okay, woo. So, my feeling is that I don't know. This is not a relationship reading or anything like that, Taurus, but it's hard to ignore the energy of relationship in this situation. But some of this transformation that might be happening with the eclipse energy, where you are being eclipsed out of one way of being and eclipsed into a new way of being where there's no going back, it could involve making really big, important decisions about who on earth am I going to hang out with now? Like, who is it that really counts in my life? Like, if your whole life has been predicated on certain protocols, people, situations, understandings, beliefs, and just ways and practices and habits, and realizing that's all changing, and that whole new thing is unfolding, and it's like you're stuck in the middle, because with the eclipses, you know, especially right at the pinnacle of your chart, you might feel as though you're right on the very tippity top of a teeter-totter, or like somebody standing on top of one of those huge Pilates balls, and they put you up there when you're in their training class, and they hold onto your hands and you say, okay, it's up to you now, stand up on your own. And like, whoa, wait a minute. This is a little trickier than anyone told me. It looks cool when you can do it, but my feeling here with the challenge is understanding that there's a before, and there's a during, and then there's an after. And your whole concept of relationships and the decisions about the company that you keep is going to become radically lit up right now in terms of the company that you're going to keep in the future, and the decisions that you're going to have to make accordingly in how this unfolds in your life going forward. Now, I wouldn't normally associate a relationship dynamic with this eclipse up in the 10th house here for you, but with the card here, it's hard to ignore that. So let's just say the key thing is here, the challenge is making the really tough decisions that have to occur in order to move on. Okay, how are you going to do that? Okay. Well, in some ways, it's really, really easy, Taurus. You just accept that the old ways, the old types of relationships that you've had that constitute your, let's say, place in this world, they're over. It's done. and a whole new journey is unfolding. Part of it in some ways is exciting. Part of it is in some ways a little bit scary, unnerving, because it might feel so fated here and that you don't really have a say in things. But in some ways it doesn't matter. So long as you like surrender innocently and just go along with it and understand that this is a tremendous opportunity for you to grow and evolve and start almost from scratch again, and a whole, what I would call a whole new lifestyle package deal unfolding in front of you when it comes to like, what you're doing in this world. Like if you've had a certain career and you start to realize, oh my gosh, I now realize I was supposed to be somebody else, then that's what's supposed to happen. And then it's all about allowing that to happen and making the conscious, deliberate choice to let that happen and not get in the way. Just treat it as an adventure, bring things back into balance, allow yourself to be nurtured and appreciated and valued, perhaps in ways that hadn't happened before, and treat that as a blessing. Okay, whole new thing unfolding in front of you, brand new worlds, new vistas unfolding in front of you, and bye bye to whatever was. It's not going to happen tonight. This is a long-term unfolding here. Okay, so it's going to happen like a very long novel, page by page by page. Okay, you can handle it. Don't worry. Don't worry, Taurus. You can handle it. All right. Bye bye.